All right, welcome to today's yoga for core. So we're going to do a lot of core targeting, a lot of activation thrown in with our routine today. Let's start sitting up, lengthening out the spine, crown is reaching all the way to the sky. I'm going to suck my core in, my belly button all the way to my spine, just a little bit, but still breathing. I'm just going to start tracing some little circles, or maybe big, with my rib cage, pushing my chest all the way out at the front, and maybe doing a little bit of a cave-in at the back, keeping that core strong. Use your hands to support. Feeling that nice little massage through those abdominal walls. It's also great for those intestines. When you get to your back space, just have a little pause and then switch direction. Same thing, you can start as little as you want or go as big. You'll get more of a massage if you go a little bit bigger, keeping that core nice and tight. Let's do one last one. Finishing that back space. Take a nice big exhale, exhale all the air out. Inhale, lift up. Come back to a nice tall seated position. Exhale everything out. This time as we inhale, release the hands, shrug the shoulders up, really shrug up. And exhale, pulling those shoulders down, still keeping that core nice and tight. Taking a few deep breaths here. Setting that intention for making sure we're creating space while doing all our core work. So we don't want to hunch. We're opening, creating space as we use our core. I'm just going to turn. You can see me from the side. I'm going to bring my feet out in front. Just letting the knees be soft. Flex the toes, keeping the spine flat. I'm just going to lean back 45 degrees or so. Making sure, again, not rounding in. That core is nice and tight. Now you have the option here, we're going to go to Little Navasana. You can grab under your legs as you lift up. Bring the legs parallel, or you can release, bring the hands straight by, or even straighten the legs here in full Navasana. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep holding. We're going to lower everything down for 8 counts. For 8, 7, 6. Don't collapse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Finding that nice long spine here. Let's take a nice big inhale up. Reach the hands overhead and just reach, point the toes. Get a nice big stretch here. Exhale, let everything melt. We're going to walk our feet to the mat. I'm going to tuck those hips under. So instead of creating a little arch, we're going to tuck the hips under so the full lower back is pressed into the mat. Again, keeping that core activation. You hear yogis talk a lot about keeping that core engaged. The goal is try and keep this little bit of activity engagement for the entire practice. I know, it's a challenge, but that's what we're working on. You can have your hands by your side here. We're just going to peel the tailbone up, just lift the hips a little bit, squeeze the glutes, and then lift the hips here. Keeping the knees and ankles in alignment as we lift up into our bridge here. Feeling the back engagement of the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes. Keeping that core nice and tight. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll down. Again, making contact with the mat, keeping that tailbone tucked up. Making sure your water is numbing away. We're going to bring our hands by our head. We're going to intertwine them. You can leave your thumbs open. We're going to bring them behind the head. You can bring your thumbs to just that below your hairline there. Maybe give yourself a little neck massage. And just focus on lengthening out through the crown of the head and keeping the elbows open. So remember, we tend to, when we crunch, want to tuck our elbows in, but we're creating space today, so let those arms stay out wide. I'm going to lift my legs up parallel to the ground. If this is too hard and tight, you can just bring the knees in just a little bit to relieve some tension. As we inhale, we're going to lift the head up. So remember, we don't want to crunch in. We want to keep that nice length with the head. Just hold this here for a few breaths. Feel this engagement. Remember, if you start to curl under, just open up. Focus on pulling that crown of the head away. Maybe pulling the knees a little bit farther away from you. Engage that core, but make sure the lower back does not peel off the ground. All right, relax the head, relax the feet. Take a breath here. We're going to add on, make this a little harder. So let's bring the legs back up. Take a nice big inhale. Let's bring the head up and lengthen our crown out, open the arms. We're going to straighten the right leg. And as we inhale, I'm going to twist the right elbow to the left knee. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Release. Inhale, come back to center, bend the right knee. Exhale, keep holding the head up. Inhale, straighten the left leg and twist. Exhale, release. Come back to center. A little faster. Just a little hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Release the head, release the feet. All right, keeping that nice little engagement in that core still. Let's keep those tailbones tucked up, and let's just lift it up just a few inches off the ground. Feeling this nice little scooping motion here. And squeeze the glutes. Lift all the way up into our nice bridge position. Let's place our hands on the ground here. And this time, keeping in this position, we're going to let our legs fall open. Rolling on the outside of the feet. They're not going to be touching. They're kind of like a bridge butterfly mix, right? Opening up those legs, squeezing the glutes, getting a little stretch in those hip flexors. Feeling it right here in the front of those legs. Exhale, lower down, keep the legs wide. Just let them sink there for a second. You can put your hands on your inner thighs to help open up just a little bit. And adjust if anything's uncomfortable here. Let's bring your hands intertwined behind our head one more time. Opening those arms up. Core is nice and tight. Still breathing. And let's just crunch up here, creating that length. If you find at any point you're crunching in, just release a little bit. You don't have to come too high up. And release. Let's crunch up and just keep breathing normally. Trying to keep that breath pace a little steady. Pushing that core right to that belly. Exhale, release. All right, let's go a little faster here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Good, you can go at your own pace or follow me. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Release the head for a second. I'm going to bring my right knee over to meet my left knee. So my right side, my right obliques are facing up, but my shoulders are still facing up. It's okay if your knees can't touch. We're just going to do some crunches here. Same little tempo, inhaling up, exhaling down. Sometimes you won't be able to go quite as high here. That's okay. Keep your elbows wide. Keep that neck long. Inhale and exhale. 5 more. In. Good. You've got it. Last 3. 2 more. Last one, and just hold it up for an extra little bit. Inhale and exhale. Take another inhale and release. Let those elbows stay wide. As the right leg comes back over, recenter yourself so your feet are a little bit wide. Maybe sit bone or hip width wide. This time the left knee is going to come over to the right knee, lifting up that glute a little bit in the back. Shoulders stay flat on the mat. Here we go. Inhale in. Just lengthen up and down. Remember, we're not doing a crunch. We're lengthening and keeping that core engage. Just a little crunch at your own breath pace. That's it. Next, slow and controlled. That's it. Keep breathing. Remember, we're going to hold at the top here. Give me 2 more. And last one, hold. Inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale in one last time. Exhale, release. Open the legs up and straighten them out. I'm going to bring my hands by my side, or you can bring them under your lower back. I like to do that diamond shape. Making sure we're not arching that back. We still want to keep it nice and in line. And as we take our next inhale, we're going to lift our legs all the way up. If you can't do that, you can bend the knees. We're going to do some little reverse crunches here. So I like to flex the feet here, get a little bit of a calf raise. So be careful, you don't want to thump down on your hands here. I just find it's a little support and a little aim for my hips. I'm going to stack my core, and I'm just going to lift my hips just slightly. If you get any momentum, I'll just take a little break and just let those legs pause. And if you're swinging up and down, your core's not doing a lot of work. So we want to lift up, control down. You can always use your hands to press into the mat. If you want to really challenge yourself, you can just lift up and hold and release. We're going to lift up and down. Let's do 3 more, guys. Don't hold that breath. Last one. Good. Let's bring the legs back down as gently as you want. We've done some nice core work here today. We're going to finish off with a little just more opening. We talked about lengthening. So I'm going to bring those arms into a nice cactus pose. And the arms at 90 degrees at the elbows and armpits. And make sure you're not arching again. Use that core. Tuck those hips under. Squeezing the glutes just a little bit if you have to keep that low back on the mat. And you can close your eyes here. I want you to focus that intention right, and that breath right into that abdominal wall. I want you to focus on keeping it sucked in for the next couple minutes. It's going to seem like a long time, but that's your mental focus. Breathing in and out, however's comfortable. The breath we won't focus on today. I just want you to be able to breathe while keeping this engagement. You find if you suck really hard, you're not going to be able to breathe. If you find this difficult and a little hard in the hips, you could always bend the knees up so you can keep those hips tucked up a little easier and just focus on that engagement. Breathing in and out. Sometimes you'll hear yogas talk about locks or bandhas, and that's what this abdominal lock really is. It's a strengthening of their body. By keeping it engaged, it's a big thing that helps protect that back and helps strengthen us into some of the more difficult poses. Just focus on breathing here and keeping that engagement. If you lose it, just come back to it. It's difficult, I know. With all the commands, the cueing, the breathing. There's a lot of little things to focus on. So even just practicing this little lock a little bit every time each day. Just while you're sitting at your desk, while you're on the phone, trying to do it in the background and something else will really help strengthen your yoga practice and foundation. Take a few more breaths here. Last little breath here. Alright, you can release your hands by your side. Trying to keep everything just nice and tight for one last breath. And as you exhale, let yourself melt into the mat. Alright guys, quick little ab practice for you today. Hopefully that was a good introduction to getting the core engaged there at the end. Just remember, if you want a little more, there's tons of other videos you guys can click on. This is just a small section to work on the core and work on our core engagement. So I hope you guys enjoy your day. Let's bring our hands to heart center.